Priest patrols in your area. That night, I slept with a baseball bat next to my bed. January 9th, 3 days before court, my lawyer Emma called crying. Someone had sent her the Facebook post with a message. Your dad's a creep, and everyone knows it. I drove to her apartment in Fort Collins. Found her on her couch with her roommate, both looking at me like I might be radioactive. Dad, just tell me the truth. Are you really stalking people? I sat down and explained everything. The land, Cassandra, the lawsuit, the houses. Showed her grandpa's deed, the tax receipts, Lydia's court filings. Emma read through them, and I watched her face change from fear to fury. So she's lying about everything? Everything. Then we need to fight back. Lydia says we wait for court. Emma shook her head. Dad, you've been playing defense your whole life. Divorce, work, everything. Just once. Hit first. I didn't respond, but her words stuck. January 11th, the night before court, I got one final message. It was from a number I didn't recognize. Drop the lawsuit or everyone finds out what you really are. I forwarded it to Lydia. She texted back immediately. Perfect. Bring your phone to court tomorrow. We're going to bury them. The Boulder County Courthouse smelled like floor wax and recycled air. I met Lydia in the hallway outside courtroom 3C at 8:45 a.m. She wore a navy suit that probably cost more than my truck, carrying a leather briefcase that looked like it could stop bullets. You ready? She asked. I wasn't. My hands were sweating. I'd worn my only suit, the one from my daughter's high school graduation 3 years ago, that now felt too tight in the shoulders. Do we have enough? We have a nuclear bomb, trust me. She checked her watch. Cassandra's attorney filed a motion to dismiss yesterday at 4:57 p.m. Classic delay tactic. Judge Ramirez hates that. We walked into the courtroom. Cassandra sat at the defendant's table with Brian Kemper and Preston Whitmore, her husband, who I'd only seen in property records. Preston was about 60, gray hair gelled back, wearing a suit that screamed, I've settled 3 fraud lawsuits. He was whispering to Kemper, both of them looking relaxed, confident. Cassandra saw me and smiled. Actually smiled, like she'd already won. Judge Angela Ramirez entered, a woman in her 50s with reading glasses and zero patience in her expression. We all stood. Be seated. Case number 2023 CV 00847, Flint versus Whitmore Development LLC and associated parties. She looked at Kemper. Counselor, I received your motion to dismiss at 5 p.m. yesterday. You want to explain why you think that's appropriate? Kemper stood. Your Honor, the plaintiff's claim is defective on its face. Whitmore Development holds clear title via adverse possession. Mr. Flint abandoned the property for over 3 years. Did he pay property taxes? Judge Ramirez interrupted. Well, yes, but then adverse possession fails under Colorado Statute 3841-101. What else do you have? I watched Kemper's confidence crack like cheap concrete. Your Honor, the title company conducted a thorough search. Ms. Chen? The judge turned to Lydia. Lydia stood, and I swear the temperature in the room dropped 5 degrees. Your Honor, we're not here to debate adverse possession. That claim is frivolous. We're here because the defendants knowingly committed fraud. She opened her briefcase. I'd like to submit Exhibit A, an internal email from Preston Whitmore to Cassandra Whitmore dated February 18th, 2022. She handed copies to the judge and Kemper. I craned my neck to see. Kemper's face went white. Judge Ramirez read it, and her eyebrows went up. Counselor Kemper, did you know about this email? Your Honor, I've never seen that document. It was submitted in discovery last week, Lydia said smoothly. Perhaps it got lost in your office. What does it say? I whispered. Lydia slid me a copy. I read it, and my heart started pounding. From Preston Whitmore at Ridgeline Capital, Com 2C Whitmore at Whitmore Development. Com subject, Old Mill Road property, risk assessment. Cassie, spoke with our title attorney. The Flint parcel is not abandoned. Owner, William Flint's grandson, has been paying property taxes continuously since 2019. Adverse possession claim won't hold up in court. However, if we move fast, file the AP claim, get permits approved, start selling lots before anyone notices, we can create enough chaos that Flint either settles cheap or gets buried in litigation costs. Worst case, we build everything, file bankruptcy, let the title insurance companies sort it out. We've done this before, Aspen Project 2019. Risk level, medium. Reward level, 16 $16 gross. I read it 3 times. They'd known. From the beginning, they'd known they were stealing my land. Your Honor, Lydia continued, this email proves the defendants engaged in intentional fraud. They knew Mr. Flint owned the property. They knew their adverse possession claim was baseless. They proceeded anyway because they calculated, correctly I might add, that most people can't afford to fight a multi-million-dollar legal battle. Judge Ramirez looked at Preston and Cassandra. Is this email authentic? Preston started to stand, but Kemper grabbed his arm. Your Honor, we need to consult with our clients. That sounds like a yes. The judge closed the folder. Here's what's going to happen. Motion to dismiss is denied. This case is proceeding to trial, expedited schedule. In the meantime, I'm issuing a temporary restraining order. Whitmore Development will cease all sales, marketing, and transfer of property related to Ridgeline Heights pending resolution. She looked at Cassandra. And Mrs. Whitmore, if I see one more Facebook post, one more anonymous tip to code enforcement, or one more threat directed at Mr. Flint, I will hold you in contempt. Are we clear? Cassandra's face had gone from confident to ashen. Yes, Your Honor, she whispered. Walking out of the courthouse, Lydia turned to me. That email? I got it from a whistleblower. One of Preston's former business partners who got screwed in the Aspen deal. He's been waiting 5 years for revenge. How did you find him? She smiled. I'm very good at my job. For the first time in 4 months, I felt like I could breathe. That night, I bought a bottle of whiskey I couldn't afford and sat on my back porch watching snowfall. My phone buzzed every 5 minutes. Emma, my son Tyler, Marcus from Wyoming, even my ex-wife Jennifer sending a cautious, "Heard you had a good day in court." But the message that mattered came from Lydia at 9:47 p.m. My office, tomorrow 10 a.m., bring coffee. We're building the kill shot. I showed up at 9:30 with 2 large coffees and a box of donuts that seemed appropriate for planning someone's legal destruction. Lydia's conference room had a whiteboard covering one entire wall, already half filled with dates, names, and colored arrows connecting them like a conspiracy theory map. You brought donuts. She grabbed a glazed one. I like you more now. What's all this? This, she said, tapping the board with a marker, is how we turn your property